Hello.
We're back.
I'm tired.
So we are open now. We had
That's why we're doing
our
it.
second day open today.
Yeah.
That was fun. How do you feel?
I feel great. You know, it was always, I am tired because it was a busy day.
It was
but,
very busy.
You know, seeing everybody's faces today and all our club members and new members, new customers, you know, it's always a great feeling. And, you know, I'm tired of this opening, closing business that's going on. So I'm ready to just stay open the whole time.
Hopefully we don't close back down again.
Don't ever say those things again. Thank you.
I think Diana, you're coming next weekend, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I saw your reservation.
Heyo.
That's gonna be good.
I mean, Chase, we see Chase every day, so.
I was gonna say
No,
Chase was just here.
Chase and I are besties.
I know. Did he bring you something?
No, it was
I
for
felt
Sarah.
hurt.
It
Oh,
was for
okay.
Sarah.
I felt hurt. I thought you got a gift and I didn't. So.
Well, I mean, he's giving me gifts, but
Wow.
Really, Chase?
Oh my goodness.
Really? Chase, playing favorite here.
Wow. You see how that is?
I know.
I cook in the food, man.
Oh, okay. I pour the wine.
All right. So today's show, we're doing another round of Super Bowl eats. How's audio? Everybody hearing us good? Okay. Cool.
Better than last week.
Yeah. Country and I took a break, and I heard the audio struggle a little bit last week. So
I thought we did great. Just the
Oh,
audio,
probably
the
did.
audio
Yeah.
was just all over the place. It was frustrating, but you know, we pulled it through. You know, you guys decided to take a vacation at the same time. It wasn't
It was
fun.
yeah,
Hope you guys had fun.
we're back.
It was
Harry
I-
says that it was interesting.
Interesting.
Harry, come on.
Ooh.
Missing
Harry
that.
says it's interesting. That says it right there.
Because the audio sucked.
Show was great.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you.
All right. So what are we cooking today? We're doing.
You tell me. You're
Chips
He's
and
the
dip?
vegan guy. You're
I was,
the
my
beef guy.
recipe was last week.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I was on
Which you bailed
vacation
on.
for it.
Cauliflower tacos.
And I'm sure it came out great.
No, I bet they were.
You know,
good.
I have to admit, like I mentioned on the show, I've never really cooked with cauliflower that much. The tacos came out really good.
It's one of those
I-
ingredients that
Drop the
is
mic.
it's a good. You see it a lot in like meat substitutes, right?
No,
Like,
it's
like
true.
Cauliflower wings
It-
and stuff like that.
They work
Yeah.
good. But you know, I did do something bad last week.
What did you do?
After
Change
the
your
camera
recipe,
was
dude.
off, I cooked some shrimp and added it to
How
it.
dare you?
I'm sorry. I had to. I couldn't just do cauliflower.
Well, never mind.
But I like it.
Yes.
It was a great recipe. Good job. Even though you weren't here.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited for this week. I wish you guys were both gone this week and I was doing this one. Sorry.
Well, this week we're bringing balance to the universe. So instead of doing vegan tacos, we are doing chips and dip with guacamole and queso fundido, and then we're gonna do some beef sliders.
When you say bringing balance, you mean off-centering the balance because it's so, heavy.
Because the vegan's down there.
I mean, the vegans
Yeah,
out here
I
and the
get
meat's down here.
I get you.
Whatever.
All right.
Anyways.
So what do we got? We don't need ovens tonight. We have a couple pots and pans we're gonna need. We got one big, large saute pan, and then a little pot to make the queso dip.
Did you introduce yourself? By the way?
I'm Shane McAnally. I'm the
Just
chef
saying,
here at
'cause
Brickler Vineyards.
I have new people
In
here that
Windsor,
don't know who you
California.
are.
Beautiful wine country. It was a nice 72-degree February day here today.
Don't tell him that.
Yeah, I was
shit,
gonna
say.
okay? It's getting like this
Yeah,
right here.
No, come on.
You're already making
Come
it
on.
bigger.
I am very humble.
How
So
about you?
let's talk about the winery, Chris. What do we do here?
Well, I'm Chris, hospitality sales director here, and we do a lot of different things with wine. Obviously, we were back open today and yesterday, which was amazing. We're really busy. We offer 2 regular wine tastings, and we offer 2 amazing food and wine tastings too, which are our roots tasting and sip and savor, which if you have not done it yet, you have to try it because it is absolutely amazing. These guys do actually a really good job, so I'm just going to say it. But no, we do a lot here. Obviously, we're pretty much all direct to consumer. Our wines are found pretty much here, and that's it. So either you got to join the wine club or come see us, which that's the best thing to do. Who wouldn't want to come see us?
Exactly.
But yeah, we're a small family vineyard here in Windsor, California. We do about 11 different varietals almost right now and growing as we speak. We have some amazing new reds coming out in the near future. I won't spoil everybody. I won't just shoot it out again. I got to keep them in check. So I know Tommy, our winemaker, is the camera guy tonight. He's giddy about it too. He's excited. Sure Thank you, Tommy.
Yeah. There's the excitement.
But no, we, obviously with our Windsor property, we grow Chardonnay Pinot here. We have our second vineyard in Fountain Grove, Santa Rosa, called Cape Ranch. And we do a lot of the more Rhone varietals. We do Grenache, we do Syrah, Petit Syrah, Viognier, Cab, Cab Franc, Mourvedre we're going to plant. What else, Tommy? What am I missing?
We're in a little patch of Zin.
A little patch of Zin we're growing too.
Yeah.
So we got some amazing things going on right now, which is cool. So,
Very happy to be back open.
yes, very happy.
Yeah.
And you are?
I'm Evan. I'm the sous chef here.
Who's Evan?
None of
We
you-
know,
I mean,
we know
it's-
country.
otherwise known as country, but either name works.
Good. We're happy to be back. Thanks for joining us again tonight. It's gonna be a
Also
great,
famous.
great.
Thank you.
It's a great cooking show as always. Tonight we are featuring our 2018 Russian River Valley Estate Pinot Noir, which is obviously I know numerous times you guys always will probably laugh because I'm the Pinot guy here. I love Pinot. It's my favorite. And why do I love Pinot?
Every day.
Why do I like Pinot so much?
It tastes like cherry cola.
All I know is you love it a lot.
Because it's the most versatile red wine out there. Come on.
No, it's fun. Like you look at the scope of what we've done with this wine.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. You know, from mushroom pappardelle to Chris's favorite, the grilled salmon.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
But you can throw anything you want. I mean, and that's the beauty about when you get home, you want to pop a bottle of wine, you pop that Pinot, but then you're like, what are we gonna have for dinner?
Yeah.
What are we cooking for dinner? And that's the thing is like you can just whip up whatever you want, and it's gonna go with the Pinot.
You just gotta pop that Pinot first.
Yep, like I popped it right there. Okay.
That could be our theme song for these shows, man.
I'm thinking, man. That's
Yeah.
Chris's theme song.
You guys
right
are too much. Anyway, the 18 Pinot, all estate grown right here on the property. It is barrel aged 15 months in oak. You guys are too much. Anyways, forget it. I'm gonna pour
Didn't
the
you miss
wine.
us?
No,
Come on.
no, be gone.
What do you mean be gone?
Thank you, Chris.
I'm gonna cheers you, and I'm gonna leave you guys. I'm
You
out.
can't leave us.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're stuck.
I'm gonna go close out all my sales today.
You're one sale.
Hey, you be nice.
It was a big.
Cheers, Chris.
It was a big. Thank you, Tommy. It was a very big one.
Hey, to being back open, huh?
Cheers, guys. Cheers to you guys.
Cheers, everybody. All right. Got that Pinot, right, country?
Yes. Yes, you do.
All right, so I think we'll make the chips and dip first. Get started with our guacamole.
Guacamole?
So
Take it away.
this recipe is a pretty straightforward one. We have a kind of a secret ingredient in the one that we do, which is pistachios. I just really like the
No longer a secret now.
well, yeah, it's a cooking show, country. The pistachios in the guacamole gives it a texture, and the nuttiness just really works well with the avocado. I've done it. If you don't have pistachios, almonds work really well. Just anything that gives you that texture. I don't know. It just takes that guacamole to the next level a little bit.
Definitely agree with that.
So we got 4 avocados. We're gonna cut these in half. So just cut down through the top and kind of roll the pit around it. We've talked about it before in these shows if you've done them before, but you want to avoid avocado hand. So we're gonna cut the pit, twist it out.
I don't know why you're looking at me. I've never had avocado hand.
Well, Chase is joining us. And I know Chase has had avocado hand. We talked about it the last time we did this.
Christina.
No, we thought it was Christina, but I think she said it was Chase.
He says, yeah.
Yeah, he's in agreement. So we're just gonna cut these and then dice this up and smashy.
Hulk smash?
Yeah. You gonna watch the game tomorrow, country?
I am. I'm rooting for Tampa Bay because I do not like the Kansas City Chiefs. So
Wow.
yeah, very strong about that. They beat the 49ers last year, so I can't root against.
I like that, Chase. Yeah, the Warriors aren't playing, right?
No.
No, they're not in the Super Bowl this year.
No. No, they're not.
That's too bad.
Yeah, it is.
All right, show us how to cut an avocado, country.
Why do I have to show you guys how to do this?
You gotta show
So,
us.
where are spoons? What I usually do is I'll scoop it out with a spoon, just like so. Just give it quick dice. Doesn't have to be anything crazy because we are going to smash it, so keeping it big will be okay.
Yeah, that looks great. Another way you can do it too, just cut it in the skin. Be careful
I was gonna say,
not
that's how
to
you
go
get
through the
avocado
skin.
right there.
Yeah, and then we'll just scoop it out with a spoon. But you know, it's all gonna end with the same result, which is the diced avocado.
In a non-cut hand.
Not here's hoping, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we make the joke about avocado hand every time we do this. It's gonna catch up with us one of these
I
times.
know. I'm waiting for it. I feel like it happened to Chris on one of those shows too.
Was it with avocados?
No, he was just talking about how he's never nicked himself and then he nicked himself.
Oh, that's right. That wasn't. We don't know.
No,
Just
it
a
was
flesh wound.
just a flesh wound.
You love that movie.
It's a
Oh
good
my God. It's like the stupidest movie, but it just makes you crack up.
It's hilarious. It's great. You
I'll
gonna
never get avocado hand because I don't do avocados.
Yeah, you don't like avocados, right?
be, which you're crazy for not
That's a
liking
shame, man.
avocados.
That's not a shame.
It is a shame.
My whole childhood, I didn't like avocados, and then I finally had an amazing avocado, and it changed my opinion. Yeah, they're so good.
Just grow an avocado tree. We'll save all the money.
California, man. In the wrong climate. We gotta be down southern. All right.
I'm sure we can figure it out.
Start growing
Yeah, they
some
don't
avocado.
do well up here. It's too cold, right?
Yeah, it's
Southern California is really,
like Monterey County, Fresno
Yeah,
County.
Monterey.
Yeah,
Oh,
but Monterey County more towards like Salinas area.
exactly.
Ooh, Diana doesn't like
Diana
avocados
says you're
either.
not alone. She doesn't like avocados either.
Love
I-
you, Diana.
She's also allergic.
I knew
Oh,
we were besties.
that's a good
I knew
reason.
we were
She's
besties.
allergic.
See, she got me. Like,
Chris isn't allergic though. He just doesn't like them.
I could be allergic. You still.
I could be allergic.
You could be allergic tonight.
That's not what you said the last time.
All right. What's next?
Next up is our pistachios.
So it's a half a cup. We've already toasted and chopped ours. If you're doing yours, just on a sheet tray in the oven for what, like 6 or 7 minutes, 350.
Yeah. Check them in 5 just to be sure. They do burn really fast.
Cheryl says, other than that, Chris is perfect.
Cheryl's very, very sweet to say that about Chris.
Cheryl and David are amazing
I
people.
would not say
Okay.
All right, so we got pistachios, we got avocado. Let's cut our jalapeno.
Jalapeno time.
So in the recipe, we say you can cut them with no seeds, depending on your spice level. If you want it to be, if you want to keep some of that heat in there, you can just chop up with the seeds. But alternatively, what you can do is just cut off the sides. I kind of just go around like cut the 4 sides off of it basically, and then you leave all the seeds and the ribs. That's really where all the heat is. You'll get a little bit in here, but not nearly as much. So if you want to make it a little bit spicier, you can just add some of this into it. We're gonna leave ours out for this one.
I'll leave a couple seeds in mine.
All right.
Yeah, I like a little kick to my guacamole.
Now, are all seeds like if you tasted like one seed separate from the other? Are there spicier seeds than other, or is it the same?
I think
I've heard
it
it's like
varies
there's some that are
jalapeno
very-
to jalapeno, right? I
Yeah.
think like these, like I've had some that are super mild. Let's
Because I've tried
find
that
out.
before, and I'm like, it seems the same thing. But a lot of people say like it can be really different.
Oh, really, these are spicy.
That's what
But
I was gonna say you be the guinea pig for that.
I've also seen like we've had jalapenos where you just eat a slice like a bell pepper. Like it's really crazy. I don't know what it is. Wow, that was spicy.
Chase has a question.
What's up, Chase?
He said, can you cut another one? How did you manage to cut around the ribs without cutting it in half?
Sure. Yeah, let me show you. So we're gonna take the jalapeno and cut the top off. I'm gonna get the hiccups here in a second.
There's some milk
And then
right
just-
next to you if you need some.
That's a good call.
It's the best way to kill the heat in your mouth.
Do you need some water?
Oh
Water is
man.
the worst.
Water.
Are you?
Drink some Pinot.
Yeah, the peanut
Pinot.
really helps.
Oh my
Pinot.
Oh. We're losing chain.
All
So Chase,
Put me in, coach.
yeah.
Oh my
You're up, country.
Put me in, coach.
So as Shane was saying, Chase, you cut the top off, you make one cut, and then you lay it down, and you just follow along the ribs, and you can kind of see it
My fault.
as you're cutting around from the top. and you just want to avoid the ribs, just like that. How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Good recovery.
Either you're really tan today or just.
Kind of looking like the peanut right now.
Oh, wait. I gotta come in.
Oh man.
Chris, this is your deal. I can't.
You are getting a little hot. Get a little fever.
It's the lights and the jalapeno.
I'm sweating back here too. Hold your Pinot together, right?
Off the
I am.
rails.
It's just
It's off the
that's-
rails.
it's the best thing I've ever seen today.
All right. So,
What would we do without you, Chris?
oh man, Towboy. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
Cheers, country.
Cheers, Chef.
Utility player.
Oh, that was very entertaining. Can you redo that?
It makes for good TV, right? I'm really glad I did that. So now we're just cutting these sides into little strips, and then we're gonna dice that up and put it in the mix. And then you want to get the onion going, Clint?
Whoa, Bradford.
Oh, holy hell! It was all good
Yeah.
until I ate the jalapeno seeds.
If
Yeah,
you want to send the reliever, I'm ready.
Oh,
Chris,
man.
I think you got to
Bring
step
the
in.
baggie.
Where's Mikey? Mikey.
You already done with yours?
I am.
Well, I was trying to recover.
You were kind of slightly dying.
Yeah,
from
I'm
eating.
good. I'm good. I like spicy
Jalapenos.
food, but that just got me.
I don't know.
All right.
We're just doing a dice on the onions, right?
Yeah, and so we're not going to put all of it in because we need like a tablespoon left for the pico.
Okay.
So we've got half a yellow onion, and we're just going to do a nice small dice. Country can show you what he's doing there.
Yeah, so what I've done is I've taken the onion, cut it in half, taken my skin off, and then what I do is I start slicing into the onion, but I'm not going all the way through. Just really going slow with your knife, and going to leave about a quarter space left. And then I go across, just cutting down into it.
We have a comment that this is even more entertaining than just a cooking show.
Thank you. It's like Jackass. We're just sacrificing our bodies for you guys.
Where's the wasabi?
Holy man. All right.
And then you're just gonna cut down on it, and then just slice across.
And so not all of this is going to go in the guac, guys. We're going to save about a tablespoon because that's going to go in the queso dip.
Thank you for reminding me. I almost did that.
It's kind of good though, right? Remember when Country and I worked in Brass Rabbit in the restaurant, before a busy service, Country would often eat hot pepper, right?
Yeah,
You get that adrenaline.
Yeah, it's an adrenaline.
I'm ready to
rush.
go
We
now.
would take what were there, Tiber chilies, and we would take a tortilla, eat the chili right before service, about 10 minutes before, and just get ready to go for service.
Doesn't Mike do that with his peppers that he grows?
He tests them,
He's just
yeah.
testing them. Like we were doing it because we were trying to wake up and we would be tired. So and it works. It was a great. It's a great alternative to coffee or Rockstar. Let me tell you that.
All right, so like I said, we're reserving about a tablespoon, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the other bowl for later on.
I got your little hand transfer.
Oh, thanks, Country. Now we're gonna do. Let me check the recipe, make sure we're not missing anything.
Lime juice is next,
Yeah, lime
and then
and cilantro.
ah,
So let's do our cilantro first.
cilantro first.
We're gonna take. We want about 2 tablespoons of cilantro in this. One trick, not really trick, but a cool thing I learned in the last couple of years from one of the cooks I worked with is a lot of times in Mexican cuisine they'll use the stems as well. Like you know, I've spent years working in restaurants where the chef will make you pick the cilantro off the stem, but the stem has a lot of flavor for cilantro.
I was gonna say, that's what
It's
I
really
figured.
tender. Like
Yeah.
it's not
I
something
mean,
that
we're chopping it super fine, so it's not going to really affect it or anything.
Yeah, so we're gonna leave it all on there and just run our knife through this. Yeah, let's use
Good
everything.
question.
Yes.
Chris is asking, what did you put in the bowl? Is it just the avocado and onions? Or what is
Avocado, onion. We got our pistachio and our jalapeno. Now we're gonna do the cilantro, and then we're gonna go with some lime juice, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Then we can eat some of that to
It'll be a nice
calm down
appetizer.
our fiery mouths.
I mean, one fiery mouth over here.
So we don't want to, if you chop it too much, especially if you don't have incredibly sharp knives, you'll start to brown it and dull the flavor of the cilantro. So we just kind of ran our knife through it once and then a second time, but we don't want to over chop cilantro. Like parsley, you can chop parsley really fine, but cilantro, if you chop it too much, you're gonna start to see it brown. You just want to keep that nice fresh flavor.
I love cilantro.
Are the pistachios raw or toasted?
They're toasted. We toasted them in the oven for about 7 or 8 minutes at 350. And then we chopped them up, gave them a rough chop. You don't really have to chop those fine either. I like it actually a little more rustic, a little bigger pieces because the texture, you know, typically avocados just kind of, it's just mush, right? But like if you get that, you get this toasted nut in there and it gives it a little texture, and I just really like what it adds to the.
Little crunch to it.
Yep. Now we're gonna do the juice of 1 lime.
1 lime.
I'm gonna go grab us some juice here, country.
Okay. Don't eat any jalapenos on your way over there.
Thank you. Thank you, country.
You're welcome, chef. That's what I'm here for. I mean, who?
It does. It gives you like that runner's high, though. You know,
Yeah,
like
it does.
I feel good right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ride this. I'm gonna ride
You're
this.
ready to tackle the world.
Let's
here.
do this, man.
Yeah.
We got like 3 or 4 recipes to do tonight. So
I know.
Try for the best.
I'm looking over at like all of our mise en place. I'm like, whew, got a lot going here.
So the juice of 1 lime.
1 whole lime.
All right. And then what we're gonna do, if we have like a potato masher, we're gonna use a whisk because we don't have a potato masher. A whisk works great too. Just smash that up. Let's add some salt in there first. Say about a teaspoon of salt. I think that's the difference between a good guacamole and okay guacamole. It's just you gotta get the seasoning. So we put about a teaspoon in there, and then we'll taste it once we get it done and see if we need to add a little bit more. Just smashing it up.
All the anger.
There's no anger, man. This is a place of joy.
Until you get a jalapeno.
Oh, that was great.
I have a
I'm
question.
happy for it. Yeah, what's up?
Do you recommend smashing the avocado before putting in toppings or doing it as you are?
No, I like to do it like this because it kind of incorporates everything into it better. Kind of opens up those onions a little bit too.
And then we do have a question for Harry.
Hey,
For
what's up,
a
dude?
family that is cilantro averse, any substitution suggestions?
You can leave it out. Parsley would be fine. Yeah, I know cilantro is one of those ingredients where some people are just wired that it tastes like soap, and
Oh,
yeah, and you know it depends. If you can go different directions. Like if you want to go, I think tarragon would kind of be cool in here.
Tarragon would be great.
You know what I mean? Like we've done, yeah, like we've done some avocado dressings before where we do fiend herbs, which is a combination of chervil, tarragon, chive, and parsley. So that would be good with the avocado. It's not going to be like that traditional, you know, Mexican guacamole kind of flavor, but it's going to taste really good.
Yeah, no, it's gonna taste fantastic.
All right, you taste it. You got chips. Everybody got chips. You can try your guac.
Chips over here.
Yeah.
Touch more salt.
A little more salt. It's pretty good though, huh?
Yeah. I'd almost even do like 2 limes in this.
Yeah, you do a little more acidic if you want. I like it more on the richer side.
Yeah.
So that's nice. You know what's good about it? It's not crazy spicy.
Because you ate all the spice.
So guacamole is done. You can set that off to the side, or we gonna plate that up. We have bowls for that.
we got bowls for that.
All right. We'll do a little spread here at the end when everything's done.
Figure, why not?
Throw some chips on there too, huh?
Heck yeah, man.
Chase has a question. With the lime, will this set for a day or so without any issue?
Yeah. We were just talking about that actually, Chase, because country was a little worried that it was might turn colors, but because you got the lime, and if you were worried about it, we could, like Country said, you could add a second lime in there, and it's going to taste good. It's not going to be too acidic, and that will also help preserve it. Alternatively, if you only have the 1 lime, I know you have some citric acid because you're showing me your experiment from earlier. Citric acid we use a lot to preserve color in the green dishes we use. right? Like what were you putting that in when we cut our lettuce, right?
Yeah, so when we cut our gem lettuce, we'll add some citric acid into the water, and what that does is helps prevent the lettuce from browning really fast. Really good technique, honestly. Learned
Yeah.
that in my last restaurant I worked at.
So there's one recipe down.
Can you just buy that at the grocery store? or-
Citric acid?
Okay.
Yeah. Chase, where'd you get your citric acid at?
Oliver's, Amazon,
Oliver's
Oliver's
might
will probably
Yeah.
have it. Whole Foods.
Oliver's.
See, Tommy's
It's good too when you don't want to add, like I was doing a recipe. We're working on this recipe for a crab dish we're going to do later in the year. And it comes with a grapefruit jelly. And the grapefruit jelly was really sweet because you had to have enough sugar to set the pectin. And so if we would have added lime juice to kind of balance out the acid and the sweet, it would make the jelly really thin.
Yeah.
And so we added citric acid because there's no liquid involved. And so it added that acid without having to thin it out too much. What's next? We can do
Let's do the queso dip
all right,
next.
so queso dip is next.
Rock and roll with that.
So first thing we're gonna do is make a quick pico de gallo. So we have our tablespoon of onion that we reserved in a bowl. We got one large tomato. We got another lime that's gonna go in this, and then some more cilantro. Is there jalapeno in this too? Yeah, right?
There it is. Yes.
So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna cut one more jalapeno the same way, small dice.
Yep.
And then this is all gonna get folded into the dip.
Into the cheese dip.
Yeah. Cool. And this recipe, this is fun. Like you can do this a couple different ways. Like I know one of the ingredients was sodium citrate, which we're going to use later on when we start cooking the sauce. And that is not something you can find at the grocery store. I know on the website, I think we'd put a link to Amazon. You can get it. It's only a couple bucks. It's not that expensive. It's just not a common grocery store ingredient. But it's a really cool ingredient in the fact that you can make a cheese sauce in a much different way. You can make it gluten-free, whereas a lot of cheese sauces, like for example, for like mac and cheese, right? Like a Mornay is going to be thickened with butter and flour.
The roux.
Yeah, like a classic French roux. But this is, they call sodium citrate a melting salt. And what it is you just mix it in with our milk when we start cooking back here. And you can whisk in the cheese and emulsifies it all together, and it seasons it at the same time. It's a cool technique that we learned. It's basically how they make it's our version of like nacho cheese, right?
Yeah.
That's how it's going to give you that kind of a texture. If you can't find the cheese or the sodium citrate, I recommend you go on Chase Highball's Instagram account. You should put your ad on there, dude.
You really should, Chase. That was
he made his own. Like the level of commitment was impressive. He sent me, it looked like Mr. Wizard, and he made his own sodium citrate with what was baking soda and citric acid, right?
Yep.
It was pretty amazing. It looked like something from Breaking Bad, I was telling him, but the final result was sodium citrate. So I gotta stop talking and prepping. So
no, you're good. We love when you talk, Shane.
5 parts baking soda, 4 parts citric acid.
there you go.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was pretty creative. I didn't
A
even.
little bit of water.
A little bit of water. Okay.
A lot of
Yeah, I never
cheese.
knew you could even do something like that. I mean, I definitely did some research to see if there was alternatives for citric acid, and the only thing that I came up with is making your own roux and using a roux. But
Yeah, so we'll talk about it as we go. If you don't have the sodium citrate, when we start cooking, I'll let you know when you can add like a little bit of flour and butter to the recipe to make your sauce a little bit different. So we got jalapeno, we got our onion, and we're gonna dice up. We're gonna cut out the core from our tomato, and we're gonna dice this up.
I thought I'd be cutting a tomato in February.
Yeah, Super Bowl, man. Queso dip, and that's a good point. Like alternatively on this recipe, if you're making it and the tomatoes are February tomatoes like we have here, you could just buy a good salsa, right? Like a nice jarred salsa, and just use like a couple tablespoons of that instead of the fresh pico, which might be a good call just because they usually make those when the ingredients are more in their prime season.
Also, fun fact: if you guys are ever cutting a tomato and your knife is not super sharp like Shane's, such as mine, using a bread knife is a great way to cut the tomato up.
Ah. Alternatively to that, you can just keep knives sharp, right?
I mean, you could, yes, but you know.
Country. Didn't you just sharpen it like right before the show?
I did, but I didn't do a good enough job. Or it just might be the tomato. I don't know.
So this is another one too. Like it's a simple, 4 or 5 ingredient pico de gallo. But if you don't want to put all of this in your queso, you could just leave this off to a little bit of it off to the side and eat that with your chips too, right?
Yeah, of course. Or you could use it for your cauliflower tacos. One of the two. I mean,
Full
whichever.
circle, man. Full circle. That's good. All right. Same thing. We're gonna go with some cilantro in this. We're gonna want about a tablespoon of cilantro in this one. So about half of what we did for the guac. And same thing. We're just gonna run our knife through it one time. Stems are fine. They're nice and tender. And this is gonna go in the hot cheese dip anyway, so it'll slightly cook them if there is a little crunch.
Nothing. So cilantro, everything in it.
Yeah.
We have a couple comments saying that they have, Cheryl says in the South, they have tomato knives.
Oh yeah.
And then
There you
Chase
go.
is saying he always uses a serrated knife when
Yep.
cutting tomatoes.
Absolutely.
I typically use a serrated knife too. I don't know why. I just feel like it's the easiest thing to do.
It is. Okay.
So cilantro, onions, jalapeno, tomato.
Yep. And so like if you're
All
making
into the
pico, like sometimes if I'm doing this for a different purpose, like if it's just gonna be pico,
Yeah.
After we season it, like we're gonna give again like about a half teaspoon of salt. Salt is gonna want to bring out the water from the tomatoes, and so tomatoes have a lot of water in them, and so what I've done in the past sometimes is at this point, before we add our lime juice, after we salt it, we'll hang this in like a strainer, like a colander of sorts. And so all that extra water drains off because you don't want your pico, if you're just doing chips and pico, you don't want it super watery, right?
Yeah,
So that'll allow that excess water to come off. But for this recipe, it doesn't matter. We're gonna add this to the
the cheese
dip, and it's all that liquid's gonna be nice in there. It's gonna get a
Yeah.
little more flavor.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of loosens up that cheese dip, so that way it doesn't, set super
Yeah.
stiff.
So again, juice of 1 lime.
One limon.
You can see it's kind of a little watery, but that's, like I said, it's totally fine. We're gonna want all that in there for the dip later on. Just give it a little try, make sure the seasoning's right.
Got some extra chips over here.
Cool.
Oh yeah. Got a chip.
Cheers.
Cheers.
How's everybody doing? How's our pace? Are we good?
Getting all the thumbs up.
All right. So I think we're gonna go back to the other camera now, and we're gonna cook the cheese sauce.
One.
All right. So what we have here is about 2. Oh, we're not there yet.
I was gonna say we're
You're good.
which camera are we on?
We're here.
We're here. Hi everybody.
All right, so we've got like a medium-sized pot we're gonna use for this. We've got about 2 ounces of Mexican chorizo, which is a fresh chorizo, raw. Alternatively, there's Spanish chorizo, which is a very different ingredient, right? That's gonna be a little. It's gonna be aged and dried. So we're gonna get our pans going over like medium heat. Yeah.
You got a little fleshy torch? I don't want to pull my
Amateur.
It's been a while since I've cooked. Today was kind of the first one.
So we're gonna get just a little bit of grapeseed oil in here, just neutral oil, so that it doesn't stick too bad when we start rendering this down. You don't need a lot because that chorizo has a ton of fat in it that is gonna leach out. This just helps initially so it doesn't all stick to the bottom of your pot.
I was just about to say that. I have made that mistake when I first cooked chorizo in my life.
Yeah.
I put a bunch of oil in there and then all of a sudden it was just swimming in it.
Nice.
It's great.
Alternatively, it wouldn't be a vegan dish, but Country and I were just talking about a good chorizo alternative is soy rizo.
Absolutely delicious.
There's milk and cheese in this, so it's not vegan, but if you're going for something vegetarian, the soy rizo is actually really good.
Yeah, I really thoroughly enjoyed the soy rizo.
All right, so our pan's getting pretty medium hot, and we're gonna go ahead and get that chorizo in there. We just want to cook this and render it down so it lets out all its fat. Just brown it a little bit. It's gonna stick a little bit, but once we add our liquids and stuff, we can kind of scrape all those little bits off. That's just gonna add flavor to our dip. So at this point, the next thing we're gonna do is add our milk in here. So if you were doing this with a roux instead of the sodium citrate, I would put you don't need to do butter. Like typically with a roux, you're gonna do butter and flour, but because there's so much oil being leached out from this chorizo, I would just do like a sprinkling of like half a tablespoon maybe.
Yeah, I would do
won't
half a
need a lot.
tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon, but
I have
start
a
with that.
question.
What's the question?
Chase asked, he said, if I doubled the amount of chorizo, is that okay?
Heck yeah.
Just means more flavor in your cheese sauce.
So you can see it's all kind of crumbling apart, which is what we want, so that it'll kind of get into that sauce a little bit better. You can see the oil starting to come out. Some really good flavor.
Building that fond on the bottom of the pan.
Absolutely. All right. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to turn our heat down a little bit because we don't want to scorch our milk too much. We're going to add in a cup and a half of milk, which is here. Kind of off the heat. You don't want to burn that milk. Yeah, and then we have a whisk that we're going to use to finish this. So you can kind of scrape up the little bits that were left on the bottom there. All that, like Country said, is what we call a fond. Is when you're cooking some sort of protein and it starts to caramelize the bottom of the pan. That's all stuff that you want to kind of recapture back into the sauce. Like all the brown little bits on the bottom of the pan. That's all flavor. So you want to make sure you kind of scrape that back up, get that back into the sauce. That's a big thing I see in kitchens sometimes where somebody will cook something, they bring the pot to the dishwasher and it's just got all this stuff on the bottom of the pan, and that's all flavor that could have been,
Added to your sauce.
exactly. So now we're gonna add. Oh, we got our wine pourers back. Thank you,
Oh, did you miss me?
my wine angel.
I was really lost without you.
Where were you? Oh, yeah. I felt it,
We do have a quick question.
Absolutely.
Someone was
Quick answer.
asking about the pico de gallo there.
Yeah.
They got confused thinking that it was for the queso.
It is.
Oh, it is for the queso.
Yeah, it's gonna get added in. Like I said, you can keep some out if you want to have 3 dips for your chips, but that's gonna be an ingredient that goes in here at the end.
Okay, and that was just the onion, tomato, jalapeno, lime.
Cilantro.
So now we have 3 teaspoons
Salt.
of our sodium citrate and then 1 teaspoon of salt. We're gonna add this into our milk mixture and whisk that really nice. You want that to get absorbed into there. We're gonna let this come up to a simmer and then we're gonna turn it down. And once we do that, we're gonna slowly start adding in our cheese. Because of the melting properties of this citrate, it'll emulsify that cheese right into the milk, which typically if you just heated up milk and added cheese, it's gonna not be like emulsified, and so you'll get like the stringy cheese, or you'll start to break and get it greasy.
Yeah, it'll separate and turn into oil and milk just kind of into a pot, which I've done.
Yep, we've all done that.
It's a good time.
Like our big fondue disaster.
Yeah. How could I forget the fondue
So
disaster?
now, as you can see, we're up to a simmer. All of that citrate has been absorbed into the milk. We've got 3.5 cups of cheese, which is 8 ounces, which is usually how you buy shredded cheese at the store. This is 1 bag. We're gonna go little by little, whisking it in. Kind of, our heat's down low now. We don't want to like bring this to a roaring boil. We just want to get it so that cheese kind of melts into the sauce. And you can do different cheeses. You could do Jack. You could do a blend. You could do pepper jack, or even like a Gruyere, right? Like that'd be pretty good in there.
Pepper jack would be great. That's a little
Yeah.
bit of cheddar.
Yeah, I just like the sharpness of this New York white cheddar we get. It's really good. So little by little, probably going like 4 or 5 additions of the cheese. You don't want to get it all in there at once because you're going to drop the temperature down too quick.
I always say it wrong. Is it Munster cheese?
Munster.
Munster cheese? Would that work?
Yeah, I mean, really, any cheese
Any
would
Munster
work.
cheese.
Yeah, a good melting cheese would be great. Like a Havarti would be good in here.
It's not blue cheese.
I mean,
Blue cheese.
you can do blue
You
cheese.
think so?
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
I mean, we use
That'd be a little funny.
what was the cheese we used here for the first
Yeah,
flavor?
we did the Boone Corners. It was a
Boone
goat's
Corners.
milk cheese.
Yeah.
It wasn't a queso bandito, but for the opening menu, we did the pretzel bites with the cheese sauce inside. This is basically that same recipe, just with some different flavors added to it.
Just jazzed it up a little bit and added some meat and pico de gallo.
So you see all that cheese is in there. And it's looking kind of thin, but as this cools down, once you add it to that bowl, it's going to thicken up. Like, remember when we made it a couple weeks ago? It was
Yep.
it was a cheese blob by the time we were all done.
Oh yeah.
That's what we're looking for. All that cheese is in there. You got nice and melted. I'm gonna add a touch more cheese into mine. I think I had a little more than 1.5 cups of milk. You want a little more cheese for yours?
I do actually.
Alright, let me grab
I was gonna say. I'll take a little more. Hi everybody.
A little extra cheese ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Nothing wrong with extra cheese. Just over here loving peanut.
Now we're freestyling. You can put a lot of stuff into this, right? You can put some hot sauce in here if you wanted to. Like I said, if the tomatoes are terrible, instead of pico, like a nice chipotle salsa would be good in here.
I was gonna say like a tomatillo sauce would probably be really good.
Yeah. There we go. That's looking nice.
Yeah. I'm looking good here.
I think I was a little over 1.5 cups on our milk, so that's probably why. I know. I'm gonna bring this up just to start to see a little bubbles, just to kind of lock it in, right? We want to make sure that everything is, that everything is melted and
We have a question.
heck yeah.
Chase says, wait, 1.5 cups of cheese or 3.5
No,
cups?
3.5 cups. It was I had a little more than 1.5 cups of milk, so it was making it a little bit thinner than I wanted it. So I'm starting to see some bubbles around the end. Everything's nice and melty. I'm gonna go ahead and shut that off now. Now we're gonna add some of that pico. I don't think I'm gonna put all of mine. That was a pretty big tomato. I'm gonna leave some of my pico for dipping later. Okay, we'll put about half of this in here. And then we'll eat the rest with some chips while we're watching the game tomorrow. and amongst the busy service.
Yeah. And open tomorrow at the same time.
That's good, man. I can't wait to try that. That's it. We're going to throw that in our bowl. Ooh.
Reminds me of Chipotle.
Chipotle. Yeah. They do queso Chipotle?
They do.
Really?
Don't advertise Chipotle. Come on. God.
Sorry, I had to.
I think we're going to go ahead and come back over to this side now. Let's taste that, make sure our seasoning is good. Like, so there's only a teaspoon of salt in here, but the sodium citrate is salty as well, right? It's
The sodium citrate it's a melting salt, like we said earlier. So I mean, it's got salt. Where are my chips?
Oh yeah.
Vegan
You
eating
guys gotta try
cheese.
some of this. Come on, Chris. Give me some chips and dip. There you go. All right, so we got our dips down. That's good.
That is good.
You know, if I was doing this with the Viognier, I'd probably put a little hot sauce or
Oh yeah, our estate hot sauce.
that'd be nice.
Which one would you do?
I like the habanero one. That
I do too.
habanero hot sauce is killer.
The Serrano is really good. I'm going to say the Serrano is my favorite.
Yeah, with the barrel aged.
Yeah, the barrel aged is really what's getting me on that. Cheers.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
2 out of 3.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
How are we all doing? Is everyone doing okay? Are we keeping up? Thumbs up if we are. Thumbs down if we're
What's Sharon
not.
drinking?
Is Diana drinking the Viognier? Look at her. She
Yeah.
whips around.
No.
No, she's doing
Oh,
Pinot.
Pinot. Very nice. Very nice.
Wow.
All right, let's make some sliders.
Not gonna lie, I thought you were gonna be doing Viognier, Diana.
Ooh, we need some more cheers. Very good, very good. So we've got a pound of ground beef. This would work.
Golf clap on your tray.
Were you proud of yourself there?
No, I was knocking some stuff off.
Was he?
Yeah, I was really happy. Yeah. No.
I mean, when a
I haven't
vegan
made-
versus meat.
Yeah, exactly. I'm making cheese dip right now. I'm forming burger patties.
I've known you long enough, and you're not.
I have known long enough, but I know he's not a vegan.
yeah.
Hey
If
now.
I say ribeye, he person, but.
No, not as much anymore.
Yeah.
So on this, we're gonna just this is roughly about a pound. We're gonna do 2 ounce sliders, so we're gonna get 8 out of this.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna get some gloves.
yeah, it's a good call, man. Let's be,
Here. You got some?
yeah, I'm good. We're gonna, if you have a scale, you can weigh it out 2 ounces. That's how we do it if we're trying to be consistent here. But
Yeah, of course.
alternatively, you can just I'm just gonna cut it in half, cut that in half, and cut that in half. You'll have 8 equal sized pieces, more or less.
Ooh, Philip says we have a little chorizo left over. Would it work with this recipe for the sliders?
Ooh.
Not on its own. I think it would.
Are you talking about like mixing the chorizo?
I think if you mix it
that's
in-
what I'm
Says
thinking.
to add to the beef.
Yeah, I would add it to the beef. That
I've
would
done
be
it with
killer.
the beef, it's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say that'd be.
This too, which is nice.
Yeah.
Like a lot of places I've seen that, people will grind bacon into their ground beef for burgers. I think chorizo would be awesome.
I think chorizo would
Yeah.
be fantastic.
What are you doing? What are you doing over there, country? Tell me. Talk us
So I'm
through
just, I did your method of, scoring the meat and making 8, patties. And then I pinch off a little chunk and I work it really good into my hand and make a nice little ball, like a golf ball size.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to go ahead and just give it a nice little press with the palm of my
Where
hand.
we get my mental check, we'll play.
Yeah, you don't play catch down?
Yeah. Hey, I got a question for you guys. So, ground beef. What's the best type of ground meat that you say would be amazing with, as a burger?
For
Like
this,
bison? You talking about just regular?
I like grass-fed ground
You like
beef.
that?
The gamier, the better.
Yeah,
Because grass-fed beef on its own, like if you're eating a ribeye, I don't like that as much because it gets too gamey. But I like my burgers to have a little there's a restaurant in the city and they do I think it's like a 60-40 grass-fed beef to lamb, and so I really like
Yeah,
that.
lamb's good too with that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Lamb would be
I've been really
fantastic.
hooked on bison though. I love bison.
yeah, we
Meats,
talked about that. I
haven't
haven't.
I'll have to because there's where I live in Ukiah up there. There's the bison farm in Lake County,
Okay.
and I drive by all the time when I pick up my son. And I mean, the bison farm the meats are amazing, and I
Nice.
love making burgers with bison. So
Yeah.
I'll have to bring some, and we can make some and see what you guys think. But it just to me, bison's like the filet mignon of burgers in a way.
Gotcha.
It's really it's juicy, it's tender, but it's got a lot of flavor, richness to it. But it's also really gamey too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had elk burgers once
Yeah. Elk.
years
Yeah.
ago, and that was actually really good. It was super lean, so it was
Yeah.
kind of one of those things that needed more fat into it, but it was super delicious, and it came out really tender too.
Yeah.
I like you got to get the right cuts too, right? Like
Yeah.
brisket, chuck, that is usually you want some texture. Like I took over a restaurant when I was in the East Bay, and they had a Kobe beef burger, and they call it Kobe beef, but it was the American Kobe beef. Which if you had the real Kobe beef, it's not the same.
No.
But still, it was that meat is so tender.
Mhm.
It's just mushy. I didn't like. They sell it at the grocery. You can get Snake River stuff locally here, and it has its purpose. But for a burger, I want some texture in there.
Yeah,
I want
me too.
a little chew to it, and so I just find, and the fat content of that is usually higher. So you'll have a 6 ounce patty, you start cooking it, and then it it gets smaller and smaller as you cook it because everything's rendering out.
So we do have a question for country. A
Yeah.
couple people are asking for a vegan version of this here.
That's actually a great question. I would say jackfruit would be a really good option for this. Doing like putting some barbecue sauce, getting up your jackfruit, and doing like a barbecue style with that, like pulled pork almost. If not that, I would also say tempeh is a great alternative. Or
Even making like a black.
I don't even know what you're talking
squash
about.
burger.
I have no clue what these words
Black
mean.
and Spanish?
Like,
I
I'm
mean-
like, are you speaking? What are you speaking right now?
You say that I'm not vegan,
Does
but
vegan have their own language?
Have you
I mean,
have you
kind
messed
of.
around with any of the like Beyond Meats or any of
I
that
have
stuff?
used the Impossible meat. It's good, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like a veggie patty is more delicious than the Impossible burger, but it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I've seen
I would
like
do black bean quinoa kind of thing. That'd be really good.
There's so many different variations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of limitless with that. Like there's a lot of different options.
Yeah, my mom would just tell me if I didn't eat meat stuff. You know, Marie.
I mean, my mom wouldn't.
Did she? You know, French lady, I mean, she's like, no, you need your meat.
I was gonna say, Maria, I will say that filet mignon that she made us.
Filet, beef bourguignon,
Yeah, that was
coco
good.
every single night. I mean, it was rough.
I just remember when we did the dinner with your mom. The thing that will always stick with me about Marie is Chris had brought a bunch of ingredients so she could prep stuff up at her kitchen before our dinner, and she sent me a text complimenting me on the quality of our butter.
Yeah.
She was great. That's good butter. Okay. Thank you.
The French, they do care about
Yes.
their butter.
The
so.
French love their butter. That's absolutely true. All right.
But,
Butter is delicious.
it is.
It's the one thing I will say I miss is butter.
You don't eat butter at all?
Hmm?
You don't eat butter?
No.
Wait. No.
Vegan butter?
No, I don't believe this.
No, but it's not real butter.
Oleo?
No.
You're not old enough to know about oleo.
I know, but we used to have that in my fridge when I was
All my
growing up.
grandma's recipes have oleo.
I use more
in them.
vegetable oil or canola oil
Yeah.
for all my cooking. I don't really use a lot of butter.
Mhm.
But it's kind of funny that I don't eat butter anymore, and as a kid I would eat it.
Raw.
Raw.
It's
Just like I would
Awesome.
grab little pads of butter and I would just pop it in my mouth.
That explains things.
Does it?
All right. So we've got our patties formed. Let's make our sauce for this.
Or the Fry sauce?
Our special sauce.
special sauce?
So we've got half a cup of mayonnaise. And what are we making? We're making Little Macs. Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah, we're doing Little Macs. We're doing
Little
American
Macs.
cheese.
They're not
and
big.
shredded
They're little.
lettuce.
They're Little Macs.
Tiny. We used to the happy hour.
Yeah.
Chase says
One
that
biters.
Caden has about 5 parts butter to 3 parts mini pancakes. Everybody-
See?
I love
Kate and I
that.
were on the same level as kids.
All right.
Vegan butter, yes, Cheryl.
Just stay that way. No.
All right. So we're gonna add some ketchup to this. We
Ketchup?
got 3
How much?
tablespoons.
I believe. Is 3 or 2?
3 tablespoons ketchup.
Is this kind of like our fry sauce from Grass Rabbit?
Yep. We just had black garlic in that. That's an ingredient that's kind of hard for some people to find, so we're not gonna do the black garlic, but everything else is about the same. We got a teaspoon of lemon juice. Have a
Remember eating fry sauce in college.
teaspoon of capers, and these are there's different size capers. The Lilliputians are the smaller ones that are really fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to chop those if you got those, but these are a little bit larger, so I'm just gonna run my knife through it.
Ooh, we've got another question from Chase. He says he's been seeing black garlic at the store lately. What is that?
It's a good question. It's delicious. It's a fermented and slightly cooked garlic. So we actually make our own on site here. There's appliances you can buy that are specific for making black garlic. It looks like a rice cooker, and it's kind of the same technology as a rice cooker. You put your garlic in it, and it's a 13-day process where if you watch it, like it has a temperature reading on it. It definitely cooks it a little bit because you can see the temperature get up over 140 for parts of it. but it's also fermented, and it basically makes your garlic clove completely black, and the texture of not quite as soft as like roasted garlic, but it's softer than just fresh cloves. And I was turned on to it when I took a job in the city working at 00. It was about 10 years ago, and it was a relatively new ingredient to the States. It's rumored to have come from Korea. I've seen reference back to Japan. I'm not sure on the origins of it, but it's really a unique ingredient. It doesn't taste like garlic. Like if you tried it, garlic would not be the first thing you'd think.
It's really sweet.
Yeah, it's sweet, and it has like a balsamic-y kind of acidic. Yeah, it's really good. I love it with green vegetables. Black garlic with like grilled asparagus is amazing, or snap peas.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's a really fun ingredient. We've used it for this sauce in particular when we had Brass Rabbit. This was the sauce we would use for our French fries, and we would put a little black garlic in there. Black garlic aioli for different dipping purposes is really good. We've actually messed around. You can put different things. Like black garlic is the one that's on the market, like that you're going to see at the store, but we would put shallots in our fermenter and let that go, and it kind of gives you the same sort of process on a shallot.
Did fennel too.
We did fennel.
Fennel was a good one.
A buddy of mine has the same thing, and he did. Tim did sunchokes and made
really?
these black sunchokes that were really unique. Kind of, it was very different. But yeah, it's a cool ingredient. I've actually seen it at like Trader Joe's. It's definitely becoming more
Black garlic?
popular.
Yeah, I've seen
in
it
the
at
States.
Oliver's and Whole Foods. Like I'll be browsing through the like deli section, and all of a sudden I see black garlic right there.
It's cool. Like it's not expensive. You should grab one and check it out. It's a fun ingredient to play with. Okay, so we got our capers in there. We got one shallot that we're gonna mince up and add to it.
Shane, Cheryl says that you were the reason they went to Brass Rabbit. It was such an incredible experience.
Ah, thanks. I appreciate that.
It's why they come here now. I mean, me too, right, Cheryl?
And Chris. So we're just gonna cut this in half. Same way we were mincing up our onion. And peel that outer skin off.
Do you guys want to talk about next weekend?
Yeah, it's so nice to be open
It's a
again.
special weekend, right?
Yeah, we got Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So we have Friday through Monday. We're running our Valentine's tasting special here at the winery. If you want to come visit us, what's on the menu, Chef?
So for that one, we're doing a crab salad for the first bite, and then we're doing a goat cheese scarpinoche for the second, and third is our oxtail braised short ribs, right?
Oxtail. It's like a crepinette.
Crepinette.
That sounds so good.
It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. And then
Dessert.
no chase, no. And then for the final course, it'll be the gooey chocolate cake.
Yeah, gooey heart chocolate cake.
Yeah.
So we're offering that tasting if you want to come visit us. We were planning on doing, was it 65?
65.
65 paired with 4 wines. I think Crab Sauv Blanc, and then we're doing the Scarpinoche with the Viognier.
Don't forget to get bubbles when they come in.
Yeah, a little bubbles.
Welcome
of course,
bubbles.
it's Valentine's Day. You gotta have some bubbles. What's over you kids.
It will never end.
Yeah,
You know.
give the people what they want, man.
Should never.
Country will make it for you guys.
Yeah.
Standard times.
I'm the expert at that one.
And then because we didn't know the state of the world when we were planning out things, we were going to do a dinner series for the Saturday, but we decided to make that a virtual event. And so that one's going to be really fun. So it's next Saturday, same time we're doing this. It's a Valentine's Day themed dinner where you can pick up your ingredients here Saturday morning.
Yep.
And then it'll be all prepped out. So you guys don't have to do any of the prep work. It'll all be little deli containers ready to go. You'll have the same ingredients we have, and then we'll cook it together here that night. And that's gonna be fun. That's paired up with wine. That's gonna be great. And then for the following day, if you want to do some breakfast in bed for the actual day of Valentine's on Sunday, we're doing cinnamon rolls with our bubbles, which we have special guest chef Bill coming in to make cinnamon rolls, and he makes some pretty mean cinnamon rolls. You guys, you get to try them?
One of the
I gotta
best.
try me. You
Yeah.
get me a little bit. Yeah.
Better than cinnamon.
Can you make me a cot that morning for Sunday? Because I gotta be here. So that I can just, you make me breakfast in bed.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll get a little tray. It'll be sweet.
All right.
country dress up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've got a sleeping bag for you.
Chase says that the babysitter is booked for next Saturday night. 3 wine pairing might not wake
Yeah.
up the next day.
I love it.
Chase, I know you get that Corbin. Don't worry.
Oh, you don't need a Corbin?
Yeah.
Where we're going, we don't need Corbins.
Yeah.
So we're just mincing the shallot nice and fine.
So does that mean we're drinking 3 bottles too?
I think so.
Okay.
Wow.
It's going to be a fun show. Email in drinking game ideas for next Saturday's
Yeah.
show, guys.
You doing the whole shallot?
Was it call for a whole or half? I think it's the whole thing. These are small ones. You don't want more than like a tablespoon. Some shallots can get much larger, the ones that Country and I have here. And they're a lot more intense than if you're doing like minced onions. So if you have a large shallot, I would probably just use half. But because ours were pretty small, we're just gonna put the whole thing in there.
Whole thing in.
Are we missing anything? Is that all the the pickles? Oh, the most important part, man.
Come on. I thought this was your recipe.
I know. No, it's actually your recipe.
Yeah,
You came up with this at the restaurant.
I did.
So these are our house pickles. These are I can't remember the name of these. I wish Mikey was here. It was it's like an Indian breed of pickle that has this
Yeah.
really interesting yellow skin on it. It's delicious. So if you have pickle relish, that would work too, as long as it's dill relish. I'm not a fan of sweet pickle relish. I mean, if that's your taste, you could do it.
I was gonna say. I mean, it's personal preference on that part.
Chase is wondering if the capers really make the sauce, because he says it's way better than all the thousands that he's had.
Yeah, I think capers are really important. This all kind of, this is kind of like a Thousand Island dressing, but
It's not traditional to have capers in Thousand Island.
no, but if you look at like Louis dressing,
Yeah,
which is
Louis.
kind of like the, Louis dressing, at least in my experience, is going to have the capers.
Mhm.
And so I've seen this just called Louis sauce also. That's what we used to put on the burger at Bada B when I was working there.
Walnut Creek.
Yep, East Bay. So I got more than I need here, so I'm just gonna you only want a tablespoon of this. So we'll just eat some pickles later.
I mean, I enjoy pickles a lot, so I'm not complaining about
Are
that.
those the house-made pickles?
Yeah.
Mikey grew these for us. All right, so we got our sauce, we've got our patties done. How's the sauce? Can you taste it?
I haven't tasted it yet. Cleaning up after myself.
You want to chip and dip that?
Not really. I want to Hawaiian roll it in.
Yeah, and your haircut looks really good.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that.
You just look really stiff on camera today.
Yeah, no, you really are. Yeah. He's stealing. I need to go get a haircut so I can compete with this guy.
Perfectly trimmed.
Especially with Valentine's Day coming up, like he's ready.
He's ready. He might have a Valentine. That's why.
Come on, guys.
Shane's my Valentine.
Oh no, he's my lady.
No.
No.
Boys, there's plenty of shame to
Told me
go
this
around.
morning.
Tommy, you need a Valentine?
I'm all set.
I'm all set. No,
Damn.
sorry,
We can have
country.
a trio, it's okay.
No, it's okay. I don't want to ruin your guys' duo.
So we're using King's Hawaiian rolls for this. Any sort of slider bun you can find at the store would be great. A great brioche bun would be really good.
King's wine roll.
Yeah, I mean, this is.
What makes it
I'll
so
eat a
good?
pack of King's Hawaiian roll to myself usually.
Yeah, like-
honestly.
It's one of those things like.
Nutella on there,
I'll
yeah.
put some salami in there real quick.
Salami,
Oh my
put
God.
Nutella, a little bit of honey. Oh, so good.
It's like Wonder Bread. You don't really want to know what's in there,
Yeah,
right?
but it
Like,
tastes so
it's so good.
It's delicious.
So we've got these cut in half.
About to
Well, I
have
do.
it. Yeah.
And then
I didn't get that memo.
we've got
You
just
get the Post-its.
No.
so we've got some lettuce that we're gonna shred for the little Macs. These are from the garden. This is some gem lettuce. I think the recipe calls for romaine, or even iceberg would be really good, right? Like just anything that's got a nice crunch to it.
That gem lettuce is good. I mean, people were
Yeah.
your salads today. So on our lunch special today, we had a beautiful gem lettuce with
Radicchio, pickled beets, chickpeas,
Radish.
and radish.
people
With a lemon
absolutely
vinaigrette.
loved it today. It was such a great combination. Even yesterday when I sold it too, it was great. So
So we're just gonna
That
run
is
in.
one of the salads we have on the menu right now.
Yeah.
Well, the only salad I should say.
yeah,
Sorry.
it's seasonal. You know?
Yeah, it is. Seasonal salad.
We have a question from Chris. He says, have you guys met Guy Fieri? Would you ever do a cook-off with him? They're big fans of his cooking show.
Nice.
I see
So is my
I see him
folks.
driving all the time.
I saw him at the Christmas tree lot like 3 years
I
ago.
did.
Yeah.
I always see him. He's got
He's got a big truck.
He's got the big white one. Yeah.
King of Flavortown.
Every time I remember looking over and I was driving, I was near Rona Park and I was by the stoplight and I see I'm like looking over. I see a guy with the
white
white
hair.
tips and I'm like who's wearing? I'm like, is that guy? And then he has sunglasses. He looks down. I'm like, that is him.
I mean, usually if they've got blonde hair like that,
Yeah.
this guy Fieri.
I mean, he stands out.
he does.
You can't miss that guy.
No, it's cars too.
No, he does. He's got
We gotta get him out here. Maybe we can have him
He
come
said
visit the
he's driven
one.
by his house before.
Oh, I'm gonna drive
Were you going to TP his house, Chase?
Doorbell ditching, man. So here's what we got. We got to finish this off. We got
Translated really fast.
our sauce. We've got our shredded lettuce. We've got some pickle slices.
Peggy says that she's sat next to him flying home
Really?
Oh,
from
wow.
Hawaii.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we got some
Was he nice, Peggy?
American cheese.
I
Bro.
got it.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Chris is having
Any other Guy Fieri trivia while we're
He
going?
drank a lot.
There's nothing wrong
He
with
looks like a
that.
drinker.
I mean,
A guy with frosty tips like that, you're a drinker.
yeah, exactly. That's what
And
I'm
we do
saying.
have an update. Janet says 35-31 Dallas N for first quarter.
Oh, thank you.
Are we talking about for basketball right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what?
I'm sorry. I'll bring it back in the second quarter. I think we're gonna season up our burgers. A little bit of salt and pepper.
Just a little bit. Pinch.
Oh, we season our food because we want it to taste good, right, country?
Yes, we do.
Would our spice breath really work good with this?
Yeah, if you're going for something a little different, not your
Yeah.
traditional burger, like we did a spice pack for some of our holiday gifting, and one of them was a porcini rub. That would be good
So
on
that
here.
would be
really
That'd
good.
be fun. Let me get a little pepper grinder, do a little cracked pepper. I like to have that on there. Doing both sides, so it's nice, even seasoning. All right, then we're gonna come back over to the other camera.
Switching over.
We do have a quick question before you go.
How's everybody doing cooking along with us, by the way, too? Are we going too fast? Is everyone keeping along?
Says, do you push your thumb in the middle of slider-sized burgers?
Say he did-
or
like
too
Evan did
small
it.
to
I did.
matter?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Country did.
I put a little indentation into the burger so that way it helps it pump it up a little bit.
Oh,
Erica did it.
Erica? Oh yeah,
Remember my name's Eric?
yeah. Country's code name. All right.
Country's
Thank
code
you.
name. Isn't country my other code name too?
Yeah,
A
man.
lot of code names.
I do.
I love it.
We should just snack at the beginning of
Remember,
every.
I'm-
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm really
Last
liking
week I was
the guacamole and chip dip here right now.
Are we back? Pico.
No sound issues or anything, right?
What?
No sound issues? Everyone can hear us?
All right. So first thing we're gonna do is toast our buns. There it goes. What do you think? Probably just dry pan for this guy.
I'm thinking so. Maybe touch
A little bit of
oil.
oil?
Yeah,
Let's
touch
do that.
oil.
We're gonna do a little bit of grapeseed oil. Our pan's over.
Thank you, Chase. I appreciate it.
Just put a little oil so these don't stick. We're just gonna
Blame it on
toast.
Mark. I do.
We're gonna toast these in the pan to get a little color on it, and you get a little crust on them.
Be nice to Mark.
I don't know.
Just give them a little push so they get a nice even contact with the surface. I like to do this, get a little crust on it because the burger, ideally, if we cook them right, are going to be nice and juicy. So you want to have a little crust on that bun so it doesn't get super soggy.
And with the the sauce and the pickles on there.
Right.
And everything.
All the wow, those are beautiful.
All the butter in there.
Yeah. Don't ask what's in them.
Top and bottom, or just bottom?
Both.
Oh.
Both, yeah. And it toasts it, but it also it warms them up too, because you want to have warm buns, right? Country, it's what country always says.
Toasted buns. not
Toasted
warm
buns. They gotta have nice toasty buns. She tells me that every morning.
I do. Wish you'd say that about my buns. Thank you.
It's gonna be Valentine's soon. I just feel so much love in the air.
There really is. Like a Lion King.
Love is in the air.
I think we're open again. That's why.
Yeah.
We just have to be working again.
Yeah, I know. Cooking food and not just sitting on our computer
Yeah.
all day, like.
Oh my God, right? I think all day was like we hate computer work. We just want to talk to people.
Yeah, this was a good day today.
Yeah, I got tired of talking with Chris for so long.
What?
Wow.
Whoa.
Brutal.
There goes your Valentine's
Yeah,
Day.
and you wonder why you're not my Valentine.
Yeah, well,
Pretty clear now.
you do it to me all day behind the camera, so you gotta do it at some point.
You don't want to get your pan too hot like I have, because then you're gonna burn it before you can get that crust. You want to kind of have the toasting process be sort of slow so that it builds a crust and you don't just get an initial color on it without getting it a little deeper, right?
Yeah.
Like you want to have that crust develop.
So everybody likes their meat like differently cooked. What's your style, Shane?
I go on burgers. I go medium rare, medium. To be honest, with steaks and stuff like that,
Yeah.
rare,
Yeah.
rare. But
I'm the same way too.
I don't understand rare burgers. It just the
Well,
texture
it just
gets a
gets
little
too
weird.
messy, and it just doesn't. I don't think the flavors are quite there. I think in a burger you want to cook it a little more because I'm always rare on a steak,
For sure.
but like on a burger I'm more medium rare to medium. So.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Uh
Dude, you've been vegan for like 3 months.
huh.
I wouldn't know about that. Jesus. All right. So now we're gonna get our heat back up in our pan. So we want to have it nice and hot when we start cooking these sliders. We're gonna go with a little bit of grapeseed oil. Any sort of neutral oil. I like grapeseed oil because it's neutral and it has a high smoking point. So you're not gonna burn your oil when you're cooking over high heat.
Canola oil would be,
Canola
would be good.
Would be great.
Vegetable oil as well.
Olive oil wouldn't be terrible. It would just be a little different flavor.
Yeah, it would be a really different flavor.
So we got some little spatulas to help us turn our sliders. We're gonna go in batches. We're gonna do four at a time here, depending on the size of your pan.
What about avocado oil?
That would work.
Yeah, I've never cooked with avocado oil, but I think it's got a really high smoking point, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So once we get them in, we're not making smash burgers, but we do want to just give them a little press, right? So you get that. You want to get nice, even contact with the surface of the pan.
Hey chef,
Yeah.
what percentage of fat is in the beef?
This is a 80-20, I believe.
80-20.
When you get grass-fed, you actually want a little more fat because
I was gonna say with the grass fed, you want to do
Yeah.
like 80 or
We used to do-
40, right?
we did 70-30 when we were
70-30.
using that stuff from Beppo. We have a friend in Ted Luma that has those amazing grass-fed beef, and he grinds 30% into his just because it's a leaner meat, and so you need to add a little more fat into it to make up for that. We're gonna set the smoke alarm off. You want to get, if you can see, we're cooking over high heat because we want to get that caramelization, that Maillard reaction when you start to caramelize the proteins in that meat.
Maillard reaction.
You don't know about the Maillard reaction?
No, I don't.
You should read some books, man.
I know.
But you don't want to have your pan so cool that by the time you develop that crust, you're already at medium well. Unless that's how you prefer your meat. I want a medium rare, medium slider. So I want that crust to form a little bit faster. You can see we're getting nice caramelization on this one. That's what we're looking for. So now we're gonna flip it, keeping that heat relatively high so that it'll get the same on the backside without cooking our burger all the way through. So we're gonna go ahead and put a little piece of our cheese on this while it's cooking so it'll melt. I think we're probably gonna use about, maybe like half a piece per slider.
I was gonna do like a quarter of a piece per slider almost.
Oh no, we're getting crazy, baby.
We're going crazy?
Yeah.
All right. Do
And again, personal preference on cheese. We're doing our fast food sliders tonight, so we're going American. And it's Super Bowl, right? So America, right?
I mean, yeah.
American cheese melts really fast, so I think even by the time they're resting on the side, it's probably gonna.
What type of cheese?
This is American, but like I was saying, you can do personal preference on that.
Would covering the pan kind of help a little bit, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull mine out. I think the heat from everything is gonna carry over on that cheese. These are probably about medium right now. I don't want to go too much more. Yours are a little bit thicker than mine were.
Yeah, they were. We need a touch longer and get it a little bit to really melt them up.
So now I'm gonna go ahead and get my other 4 in the pan. And like I said, you want to have it be if you're trying to get a medium rare or medium, you want this to be relatively fast. You don't want it to take a long time, because then by the time if you cook it to medium rare in a slow pan, you're not going to get that color on the outside, which that's really a big part of the flavor.
Yeah, exactly. This brings me back to
There you go.
my first time of cooking. Looking at Flipside Barn Burger.
Oh yeah, cooking burgers all day.
Yep. We actually did something similar to this. It's called Flipside Burger. It's American cheese, onions, and Thousand Island.
What I like about sliders too, you can really mix this up. Like you can, like, especially with these rolls, like pork belly would be excellent in here. Like, I mean, you could really get crazy with it and do different sauces. Sliders are such a versatile little snack, especially for like a Super Bowl type setting.
No, yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna turn the hoods on before we set the sprinklers up in here.
I think that's a good idea. I will concur with
We do
you.
not want the fire department coming. We do on that.
Not again.
Oh yeah, there we go. Now we're cooking. I don't like to smash burgers have their place, right? But like for what we're doing here, I don't want to smash down on this because it's gonna take all the. It's just gonna smash all the juice out of it, like all the flavor. It's gonna make it dry.
Yeah. You want juicy sliders, not the
If you're doing a different style, like a smash burger, it has its place. That's not what we're aiming for here. Like you said, you cover it. That's going to be a good way to help you melt that cheese a little quicker. Because we're using American cheese melts really easy. So even the ones that I didn't cover up,
I mean,
are already melted.
melted.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot.
I just love, like, American cheese. It has to be, like, completely melted. That's the whole great thing of American cheese. I like.
Very patriotic too, right?
It is. It is extremely patriotic.
Super Bowl, American cheese,
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Tom, terrific, baby. What do you think? You think he's gonna do it? You think he's gonna get it done tomorrow?
I hope so. I'm banking on it.
Yeah.
Palo Alto's finest, right?
Yeah.
California boy.
Hey, it's pretty.
I think Mahomes is the deal, man. I don't know.
He's too hard. He's hard to beat. I don't know. He's too talented.
All right, so I think we're gonna come back over to the other camera. We got our sliders done. Now we're gonna assemble these up. All our little toppings. You're back. Back. So we've got our buns. I've got the bottoms here down the middle with the tops on the outside.
Toasted buns.
Toasted buns. Thank you.
Warm toasted.
Warm toasty buns. We're gonna go ahead and spoon these, and these are. It's a Super Bowl party, right? These are not dainty or precious. These are sloppy. These are
They're definitely not fresh.
You're gonna have a glass of wine in your hand, maybe a beer after that.
Are you talking about country?
I am pretty fresh.
Just a little bit of that sauce on there. We're gonna go with some the pickles.
Don't forget the pickles.
Don't forget the pickles.
Pickles.
What's your outfit? You're spooning the warm toasty bun.
Chase says spooning the warm toasty buns. This is a kid's show.
Hey man, what Country and I do in the privacy of our own homes is between us.
The privacy of his own kitchen, I should say.
Yeah. A little bit of shredded lettuce. Because we gotta make it healthy, right? Is that what the lettuce is for?
Yeah, you got to put some sort of vegetable.
It's kind of vegan.
It's somewhat vegan.
I'm just happy there's extra American cheese left over. I'm making grilled cheeses for lunch tomorrow.
There's really good vegan American cheese. That's what I do for my grilled cheeses all the time.
We'll go with our little burger patty on there.
Feels like Krabby Patty.
Krabby Patty, Krabby Patty, Krabby Patty.
Ooh, look at Sharon.
Sharon.
And then
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nice.
pretty.
We need to set up a drive-through out back.
Yeah, we really do.
Yeah,
Set it up in the corner there by the house.
You guys got that covered. I'm done.
But Chris, you're gonna be taking all the orders.
No.
And just topping them up. And you know, if you're doing this at home for a party, a little toothpick might be nice in there to kind of help hold it all together. But we're just gonna eat all these here in a minute, so we're not gonna bother. I think that's a pretty good spread, right? If I showed up to a Super Bowl party and we had sliders and chips and dip and queso, I'd be happy, and wine and delicious Pinot. How we doing, Diana? There we go. Nice.
Beautiful.
Oh, you are toothpicking yours.
I'm toothpicking.
You're just a contrarian, man.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
so fancy.
You know, just being open and everything, using all these toothpicks, I had to.
By the way, the guac and the dip is so good.
Those are the vegan sliders.
Yeah. So yeah, next week, if you're local, I highly recommend you join us for the Valentine's Zoom. That's gonna be super fun. You know what we're doing the week after that?
The week after that is that's a really good
shrimp
question.
bits.
Yes, shrimp
So
bisque
in
with
2 weeks we're doing
radish
shrimp.
tartine.
Shrimp bisque, radish tartine with our rosé and Pinot.
Which is amazing. I mean, that radish tartine is amazing.
Yeah, that's on our tasting right now
For
at the
all of our
winery.
members that got their shipment already, the radish tartine was actually a recipe.
Yeah, there's a recipe in there if you got your shipment.
Club package. We do it on our Roots and Sip and Savor tasting too here at the winery, which is a phenomenal pairing.
Chris, why don't you come back here and speak more? Okay.
Chris is spent.
No, I was gonna say I don't know if anybody could hear that the whole time, but
Chris and Taylor were running all over the place today.
yeah, they were.
We all were. It was a,
No,
it
we
was
were,
a day, man. It was
really
fun.
busy, and I'm super happy to be with you guys. I'm happy that you guys are back and not on vacation
Yeah,
because that really sucked.
the audio, man. You're missing that magic. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, I know.
The magic that I bring.
I know.
So yeah, enjoy everybody. Have fun watching the Super Bowl. We'll be
Yeah,
catching
come out,
glimpses of it as we're cooking tomorrow.
come out and visit us.
I'll set up the screen for you, chefs.
All right, cool.
We'll get you.
Cheryl says
we'll-
merci beaucoup.
Oh, she's talking to you, man.
Yeah.
Give us a little French. Drop a little French.
No, only Cheryl and I can talk French.
Yeah, she's there.
Yeah,
I know,
that's
but that's
what
in
she's-
private.
Yeah.
That's why she says "Go Saints." You know, it's French.
Go 49ers.
No, I got you. Yeah,
You
the
got
Florida,
me.
the Florida League.
That's right.
Well,
Yeah,
So,
thanks,
I would say
everybody.
come see us.
Yeah,
We're
come
open
out.
now.
Oh,
We'll
Saints. Look at
What's that?
Go,
Jesus
Cheryl.
is
Chase, how did the homemade sodium citrate work out?
good. It seems
Awesome.
to have worked.
Got Jesse Pinkman over there making queso.
Way to go, Jesse.
We love that.
All right. Well, thank you guys. This was fun to be back, and
Keep it tuned.
come see us.
Actually, when's our first dinner series?
It's in March 20th and the 21st. I can't remember the date, but it's right around St. Patty's Day. It's the Saturday after St. Patty's Day, the 20th.
So that'll be the kickoff to us
Backdoor dinner
doing
series.
our dinner series every Saturday night. I mean, every other Saturday night.
It's gonna be once a month. for
Oh,
the
once a
first
month.
couple,
That's
yeah.
right. I forgot.
And then once we get to May, it goes every other.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then our pizza nights start when? Or summertime?
Yeah.
May.
I think they might be in May as well.
But we got some, amazing things to come, like we did last year. Obviously we're gonna love our pizza nights, our dinner series.
Yeah, Bastille Day we'll have
Bastille Day. We'll have my mom here
Mama
cooking.
here. Yeah.
She'll be actually doing what, 3? She'll be doing
We're doing, yeah, she's gonna
Three
do a
events this
dinner, the dinner series around Mother's Day.
Mother's
She's
Day,
gonna come
and
do
then
that.
Bastille Day, and then she's got her
Something in the
Marie
fall.
dinner in the fall too.
Yeah.
So that'll be really cool. But we get some really fun things to come, guys.
And yeah, if you're local, come see us, man. It's good to be back open and be able to welcome people here safely.
Yeah.
And it's gorgeous. It's
Come do the Valentine's Day package with us next week. I mean,
Mhm.
that'll be really fun. Whether you come here for a tasting or just wanted the virtual event, it's a really good menu. I think it'll be a fun. I'm excited for that virtual event. So
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun.
We've
fun
sold
virtual.
quite a bit of packages already, but I think
The Valentine's Day special that we're gonna be doing, the tasting special, is gonna be great.
Valentine's Day special too is great. So
Super
that's
excited
really
about that.
booking up. I'm just hoping the rain's not going to come. So
I don't think it's going to. I think it's gonna.
we got a covered
We're
area.
good, man. Yeah, we're good. We got
Covered area. We can make it work.
We got umbrellas.
If I stand in with umbrellas while they're all eating, we're good.
Shane will be out there too. He'll be holding umbrellas.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
Thank you
so
guys,
much.
everybody. See everybody.
Happy Super Bowl.
Go Warriors.
Go Warriors.